just making moves like it's 1999. It's historic, cause God making me to shine. Yeah, all the rumors that you heard is true. I'm the hype, I'm the living proof. Don't hate me cause he made me this crazy. Yeah, it's just history, baby. All the rumors that you heard is true. I'm the hype, I'm the living proof. Don't hate me cause he made me this crazy. Made me this crazy. I'm making history, baby. Yeah, we making history, baby. We making history, baby. I'm making history, baby. Yeah, ain't no mystery, baby. We making history lately. Yeah, cause we the rookies of the year. All I see is devils in my rear. Yeah, we making history, baby. It's just history, baby. This that Diana Ross singing with the Supremes. This Barack being the president, you know what I mean. This that Moses using the staff and parting the sea. This Mike hitting the moon while Billie Jean up on the screen. Like, good ain't good enough. The snakes ain't drilling us. I'm focused, baby, you want that woulda, coulda stuff. Put me in the games, made me this crazy. Ay, it's just history, baby. All the rumors that you heard is true. I'm the hype, I'm the living proof. Don't hate cause he made me this crazy. Made me this crazy. I'm making history, baby. Yeah, we making history, baby. We making history, baby. Yeah, ain't no mystery, baby. We making history lately. Yeah, cause we rookies of the year. All I see is devils in my real. Yeah, we making history, baby. It's just history, baby. All I know is I got it. Just give me a dime in my pocket. Hey, we making history, baby. It's just history, baby. Yeah. All I know is I got it. Just give me a dime in my pocket. Hey, we making history, baby. We making history, baby. Yeah. All the rumors that you heard is true. I'm the hype, I'm the living proof. Don't hate me cause he made me this crazy. Yeah, it's just history, baby. All the rumors that you heard is true. I'm the hype, I'm the living proof. Don't hate me cause he made me this crazy. Made me this crazy. I'm making history, baby. Yeah, we making history, baby. We making history, baby. I'm making history, baby. Yeah, ain't no mystery, baby. We making history lately. Yeah, cause we the rookies of the year. All I see is devils in my rear. Yeah, we making history, baby. It's just history, baby. History, baby.
Hear me now? Ooh, I've been so many places. Been around the world, I'm trying to get me famous. Everybody trying to occupy the spaces. Everybody now wanna know what my name is. Not even me mommy or me daddy. I didn't have nobody, just a little money God and me. I remember when I couldn't get my demo put out. Ooh, now it's murder. And now you say, oh, cause I got the mic now. You're singing praises. Now they say, oh, yes, I'm the one you wanna rock with right now. And I got the mic now. I guess I'm famous, and I guess it's my time right now. I won't use a gun, I'll kill them with my mic now. Now they getting body better right now. See them with their body better right now. Was living in the rat race, and in the rat race was a paper chase. Now I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. Make it give me space. Now my mommy and my daddy, I didn't have nobody, just two bags, my car and me. I remember when my record label never want me put up. Ooh, now it's murder. And now you say, oh, cause I got the mic now. You're singing praises. Now they say, oh, yes, I'm the one you wanna rock with right now.
and get ready for the hottest morning show in the ATL. It's the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show with Georgia first black governor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing you the most interactive show on YouTube Live. We bringing the hot tunes, the newest independent artists, and a whole lot of love, baby. Okay. Get up. Wait. And go. Morning Show with your host, First Black. Yes, welcome. I can't even hear myself. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show. It's Monday, and if anybody ever worked in corporate America, you know what that means. That means half your shit don't work. If you ever worked in corporate America, you know what that means. That means half your stuff don't work. You're running late. Traffic was bad. Right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm late. Sue me. It is what it is. I apologize. Please forgive me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. At least I didn't makeshift the show and not come on properly. You know, sometimes when I be running late, I just be want to put up the picture and then just do the show. And I was like, sometimes I feel like I'll be cheating God out of his show. So I go ahead and I set up and I do it the right way, because I don't want to disappoint him. You Negroes I ain't worrying about. Not really worrying about disappointing y'all. I do worry about disappointing God, though. So, but anyway, good morning. Welcome to the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show. It is the State of Our Women's Month. It is Monday. We're broadcasting live from the ATL. I'm alive, you're alive, and if you haven't given God thanks for being alive this morning, y'all know how we do. This is the time for you to do so. So go ahead and give God thanks. I'll wait. Right. So just be thankful. Just be thankful you woke up, you're amongst the living, because you could have been in Walmart. You could have been in Ohio. You could have been somewhere in the last 3 days where multiple people were shot down. So just be grateful that you're amongst the living. And you didn't even have to be in Walmart, Ohio. I can't think of the other place, in the school or wherever they had the other shooting. You could have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Things are happening all over the place. However, yet Jesus said these things was going to happen. So please don't be afraid and don't be alarmed. This is where trust comes in. This is where trust in God comes in. I've always asked the question, I know you believe in God, but do you trust him? And what I mean by that is, if you're climbing up a mountain and you get blowed over and you grab hold to a branch on the side, you believe that God will save you, but will you trust him when he tell you to let go? Right. You know, I understand self-preservation, but would you trust him when he said let go? Let go. So yeah. So be grateful you're alive. Let go. Have some real trust. Trust has faith. Faith is believing in the things that you can't physically see. Right.
So I'm grateful to be alive. Grateful for my sugar booger to be up this morning. Our children, parents, siblings, loved ones, our friends and my foes, even the trolls. And I'm very grateful for those that watch and stick us in the desk and go back and watch. I appreciate it. Very grateful, and I'm super excited and happy this morning because guess who's in the building? Guess who's in the building? That was your cue. Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was your cue. So that's
I am here. Good morning, y'all.
so that right there should let you know that the show is not rehearsed. Okay. And what I could tell you about this Monday show, man, listen, y'all lucky y'all got a topic today. But I'm not gonna say that. God's still working with us. We still doing our thing. We gonna still make it happen for y'all here on the Wake Bake and Coffee Morning Show. I feel like I'm out of place or something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's this camera. I got to figure out how to take it off the wide lens. Cause I don't want it to capture everything. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, that's why. Okay. So just a little bit. Right. Oh, that's why the. Okay. So I'm bugging. So we here. We live. Somewhat. Somebody's watching. Guess now we down to one person. 2 people, 3 people. It's dragging. We gonna make it happen. Don't worry about it. We here. Welcome to the Wake Bake Coffee Morning Show. So today, ladies, we don't have a Portia Kirkland words of wisdom. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Portia. Forgive me, everybody. I just got here 5 minutes ago before we went live. Okay? And I could have did it yesterday. I'm pretty sure y'all could have said, Gov, well, that was yesterday. True. But yesterday after church, I went out with my dad and my stepmoms, and then me and the sugar booger looking to buy a house. So we was concentrating on how them what y'all call it, HGTV, the HGTV show, the channel, right? So how they have when people be house hunting, they got like 2-3 houses to choose from, then they sit down and they talk about, right. So we did that yesterday. That's to about almost 12 o'clock. I mean, from the light fixtures to the flow to the backyard to the basements to the one with no basement to are we gonna have to do extra work? Can we wait? Should we wait? What about this? What about that? What about this? All the way down to the loan we could take out, the way it sit to this, that, and the third to right. So it's been one. It was a trying weekend. We was out all day Saturday looking at 6 houses. And that was because the house my sugar booger wanted, somebody had put an offer on. So I told her don't worry about that because we got 3 more houses to look at. I found out Friday night 3 turned into 6. It should have stayed at the 3 because 3 of them wouldn't have made the list if my life depended on it. Okay. 1 I love, and it was only 3 I love, and two, the one house it didn't flow right, But when I tell you the curve appeal, the backyard, it was by a creek. Oh my God! Like you can hear the water coming off the rocks. So the Wake Bake and Coffee Morning Show would have been done outside, even except for when it was raining. But we would have been broadcasting from outside, next to the creek. But But it didn't. The rooms were small in that house, and it didn't have enough space. Um, because my sugar booger has embedded into me to think about our children later down the road, and most importantly, that ninth commandment, which is honor your mother and father, so your days will be longer. Right. So we're thinking about that down the road. So outside of that, um, but the two that's left, it's been a battle, and you know we ready to put down some bids, and but it's a couple of questions that we still have. So anybody looking to buy a house, when they tell you that this can become a stressful situation, take their word for it. Take their word for it. It can it especially if you don't know how to properly deal with stress. This will make you kill everybody in your household. You'll kill the children, not the children, but the children. You'll kill all the children in the house. Mommy, can we go outside? No, I'm trying to concentrate right now. Damn it. Yeah, it'll make you pull your hair out doing this house buying thing. So
Your spouse, y'all going back and forth, you call all kind of
right,
hiccups, all that going along with it. And then when you put the bid in, then you got to start real anxious because you don't know if you're gonna actually get it, you're gonna get outbid.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. And then too, it depends on who you bidding with. Because see, my sugar booger put in the bid, and she didn't like the response. You know, the guy was very rude about the offer, but she didn't tell me though. She kept it to herself. She just told me it got rejected. She didn't go into detail of what was said. I kind of wish she would have went into detail of what was said, cause then I would have went and pulled the tax records like I did yesterday and say, shout it. According to Henry County, your shit only worth $32,000. You ain't even got this house truly registered with the county yet to even have the county to have a true cash value on it. You haven't even brought the county out to get a true cash value. So according to the county, you asking for $232 more than what the county said this shit is worth. Oh yeah, I'd have made you feel real small. Nobody want that raggedy shit anyway. Nigga, I got to redo the backyard and I got to finish the basement that you didn't start. Oh, I done went in. And if you want full price, then I need bow. And nigga, you gonna put up the fence and the gate. You gonna redo the backyard. You gonna put down some real grass. You gonna do all of this since you won't asking price. Oh, cause what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna disrespect my sugar booger, cause I pull up at your property. But that's one. But that's.
It be the rude ones that make you want to just slap.
But see, I learned yesterday in church that if I truly love Jesus, I got to start moving like Jesus. I can't pull up at your property like I want to.
No, you can't.
See, this has been.
You can correct them the right way.
Yeah, I just ain't gonna. I just don't have to call you out your name. That's pretty much what I took from it yesterday. I can still tell you what's right and what's wrong. I just can't call you a little retard. I just can't call you an idiot. That's what I learned. You know, that's what I learned yesterday. Oh, and I can't pull up and pap your act.
No, you can't quite do that, sugar.
Yeah. See, I learned I can't pull up and pap your act no more. But I learned that I could still correct you though. I could still give you the business. if need be necessary. And before we get into Mama Quita today, and Mama Quita topic today, ladies, for the Women Love series is the bank era. And ladies, there's some things that y'all can learn from the bank, especially when it comes to trust and understanding and folks walking with you. But we gonna get into that. But I had put up a question yesterday, and I didn't check and see if the question actually made it. My question yesterday was, would you rather come home with 82% of your pay or 41% of your pay or 43% of your pay or something like that? Despite knowing what you deal with on your job, knowing the consequences that come with certain things, and knowing what you have to go through, the traffic, and dealing with stupid people at the job, dealing with crazy bosses, people who supposed to know things but don't know diddly squat. Would you rather? Because you can't come home with the whole 100% pay. That sounds great. Everybody would love to do that. But would you rather come home with 83% of your money, or would you rather come home with 44% of your money? It's just a question. Because based on the new tax law that was passed by number 45, as y'all call them, Georgia state tax is around 6%. Then you're paying, what is it, 13% on the Fed level. So now you add that up, that puts you up to about 20 some odd percent. People in the state of Georgia spend about 20 some odd percent in taxes on both federal and state combined. Y'all little friends that y'all so badly keep advocating for, they on the other hand, they only want you to come home with 40 some odd percent, because you working folk gonna have to pay for all this free stuff they trying to give away. And not one time have they mentioned giving you anything for free. So I just want y'all to think about that. Nothing in America is free. So all this free stuff. And then somebody got mad at me the other day because I'm sitting in the bed, right? And we've been watching this HGTV thing for a minute. And so I didn't even know they had this thing called Mexico Life. Blew my mind. Okay? You got people packing up, moving to Mexico, South America, Guatemala, Honduras. They moving to all these places that people claim they need asylum from. So now I had somebody, matter of fact, I ain't gonna even say somebody. I'm gonna quote you verbatim, because I don't want to misquote you. And I'm not gonna call out your name, but I am gonna quote you. Okay? Said any native from Mexico doesn't qualify for an asylum petition. Shitting me. Because they damn sure filed for him.
Right.
Isn't that the narrative? I'm just going by the narrative. Because by federal law, in order for you to file asylum, you have to file asylum in the first country that you come to.
Right.
Which means that Mexico is where they should have filed their asylum. And
Right.
the people from America is spending spending between 400,000 and 700,000 to move to Mexico. Then Mexico should have just been your last stop.
Right.
Okay, that has been the national. There has not been a natural disaster or anything like that. Didn't Mexico just have an earthquake not too long ago? About 2 months ago? Okay. If an individual from Mexico petitioned because of any violence or anything like that, they will be denied. Well, y'all niggas is right here at the border. All you gotta do is walk through Tijuana. I'm confused. But okay. Because isn't that been the narrative? I'm just being 100. I'm sorry. I told y'all we getting back to the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show. I know we on the Women's Month. I'm gonna try to be as nice. I'm gonna be nice. Okay. It said people that qualify for asylum, if they are granted one, are people from Central America and other countries. But you got to file asylum in Mexico. Not walk the whole entire country of Mexico or get picked up by Hillary Clinton and friends and get dropped off at the border. Oh no, I'm telling. It said, may I add that Mexico has the longest waiting process time than any other country. So, okay. It said, if you want to come legally to the U.S., you have to wait a minimum of 20 years. Now, listen, I used to be an immigration paralegal now. I wanted to respond so bad, but I didn't. Because I dealt with immigration. For real. It says you have to wait 20 years. India, China, Switzerland, and any other countries is 1 to 3 years or less. Depending on who you petitioning for. If I'm petitioning for my mama, that might take a while. But if I'm petitioning for immediate family, husband, wife, children, that shit might be 3 to 6 months. But y'all trying to get the whole family up here. Grandma, your cousin, your second cousin, your auntie, uncle, brother, sister, dog, babysitter, grandmama. That's who y'all trying to get up here. That, hell yeah, you got to wait for that. They just started letting the Chinese come back into America 15, 20 years ago. Because at one point in time in America, the Chinese were banned. Even though the Chinese were slaves with the blacks, building the railroad, working on the chain gang, building the railroad. Oh, that's right. They don't tell y'all that shit in American history, huh? The two niggas they didn't want here was slaves. They didn't want China here. And then most people that come from these other countries got degrees, got 750 credit scores, and they got thousands, how Mike Epps said, thousands of dollars in the bank. That's why they can jump the front of the line. You can't just come here if you ain't got shit to offer. We building a relationship. Why would I let you here? That's like being with somebody. Why would I let you here just to utilize my resources? What are you giving me in return besides eating my shit? I'm just being honest. And now you want to offer these niggas all this free shit on my dollar. That's not happening. Okay. Then she says, These areas where Americans were moving to are exclusive areas that Americans can afford easily with SSI. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. My mama get SSI. Ain't that's like Social Security, all that type shit? My, my mama get that. I don't know no nigga, black, white, Jew, Asian, young, old, who get SSI or disability that can go to Mexico, where I seen these folk going and live like a king. Not when the starting house is starting off at 300,000. You can't get a $300,000 house here. What it do, Low Daddy? You can't get a $300,000 house in Mexico on United States SSI. For real? Okay. But I thought I was smoking. Okay. It said the average native can't even find a job. That's like saying niggas in America can't find a job. I just think that y'all just picky at the jobs that y'all want. And you want a high-paying job, but you don't want to go through the process of getting one. That's what I've been learning. People want to make money, but they don't want to go through the process of making money. It's like my man Low Daddy right here. Low Daddy sell cars, right? Somebody probably at Low Daddy job right now hating on Low Daddy. Cause Low Daddy getting sale after sale after sale after sale. And they trying to figure out how Low Daddy getting sale after sale after sale after sale. Well, first they don't know that Low Daddy love God. And God loves Low Daddy. So since Low Daddy love God, God love Low Daddy, God give Low Daddy certain things and certain aspirations and certain dreams and certain movements and things of that nature. When new cars show up, Low Daddy probably be the type to go sit down and inspect the car, see what it offer, read the manual, see the specs, probably take it around for a little test drive. That's so when somebody walk on the lot, there's nothing that he can't tell you about this car. But the person that's hating, he don't know nothing about the car. He don't want to take the time to learn about the car. He just want the commission in the sale. And then he wonder why he's not getting it. Because he can't answer none of the questions of the customer. He can't give the customer good service because he doesn't understand the product he's selling. Well, the average native in America can't find a job either. Because you got a lot of people over here, whatever you want to call them, illegal, undocumented, however you feel. The niggas who jump the border illegally, them, are taking the jobs from average Americans. So if there are jobs there, then why in the hell that they won't stay there and work? Okay. Then, this is where it really gets good. And I wish Mama Quita didn't have me on hold, because this is where it really good.
I didn't realize it said you was on hold. I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything, so I thought you had me on hold. But this is
I had you on mute.
oh this is the fun part that I love so much in this. It says, even worse, our community of African Mexican. Stop right there. I don't know none of these niggas. So how you gonna say our community? I don't know them. Stop playing. They not going through the same struggle I'm going through here in America. I don't know what they doing out there in Mexico. So when did it become our community? What? When the Mexicans come over here, if y'all feel that way, they don't mess with us. It's funny how it's our community, but they don't mess with us. You call me African, but the Africans don't mess with me. Because the Africans know the truth. Black folks that's over here, whether you Mexican, you from the Caribbean, or you American, you're not African. You was a slave in Africa to the Africans and the Arabs. It was the African and the Arabs who had you as slaves and sold you to the people coming to America. They sold you to Spain to take you to the new Spain, which is now Mexico or Mexico. Our community. Nigga, I don't know these niggas. This ain't our community. Our community of African Mexicans have it the hardest when it comes to surviving with no jobs. You know, I love this victimization narrative. Because guess what? You can make a job if you got a hustle. You can create a job if you have a skill, a talent. God gave everybody a skill, a talent, something, a gift that you can use to prosper yourself.
Absolutely.
We become so victimized that we don't want to do that. Now I got to put in some work. Niggas don't want to put in no work.
No, I don't.
Miss me with the victimization. Miss me with all the free stuff. Because they ain't never offer black people nothing for free. They said we'll give you 40 acres and a mule, and we still had to pay for that. But then you got all these politicians that y'all love so much because they Democrat. We give you free health care. We'll give you free college. We can't even go to school for free. We can't get free health care. And if you were smart, you'll get you a job and get you some private insurance if you were smart. I don't give a goddamn if you have to buy the smallest package they got. You'll come out a whole lot better with that than Medicaid, Medicare. You can say whatever you want to say about the insurance company. Huh?
I'm gonna say this. And the sad part is the ones that was supposed to help, it puts them in a worse predicament.
Okay.
Yeah. The ones that needed the help, it actually made it harder for them to receive what they need because they started being charged when they weren't being charged prior and they couldn't afford it. So yeah, who are they really looking out for?
My point exactly. So, at the end of the day, listen, I don't care if you have to buy the cheapest plan from this insurance company. What I'm going to tell you is you got a better chance getting the cheaper deal at Blue Cross Blue Shield than you do getting on government Medicaid. And don't let these folk trick y'all off the street with this what's the little socialist guy named Bernie Sanders. We're gonna give you healthcare Medicaid for all. Well, who gonna pay for this shit? Well, we gonna have to raise taxes. Nigga, my taxes just got lowered by 18%. You talking about raising them 18 plus another 8. Who? I can't afford that. So again, my question is, if you work hard every day for your money, do you want to go home with 83% or 40 some percent? I'll take the 80 some percent over the 40. Cause what the hell you gonna do with 40% of your money with everything going up the way it's going up?
You can't live.
Let's just be realistic. Okay. So don't let these folks trick y'all off the street. Okay? So guess what? We gonna take a break. I got some bills to pay. And we're gonna play some music. I'm gonna start off with my man Illadel. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna start off with my man Glenn Travis. I'm gonna end with my man Marcus Rogers. But in between time, put your seatbelt on, get your popcorn, get ready. Cause it's the State of the Women Month. And women, I told y'all I'm gonna have fun this month. I might not have no more female followers by the time we done.
Yes, you will, because I'm going to help you out with that.
Listen, it's time to be honest, upfront, righteous. So guess what, man? We're going to take us a break, and we'll be back with more of the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show right after this.
Time moves slow, feelings grow stronger when I'm with you. Somewhere I've never been before. You take me, I ain't used to this craving. No excuse, but I'm saying, baby, you got me thinking. I walk this line to the other side. This year, what I tell myself, tell it life, it'll be alright. I guess you'll meet me. Whatever time is right, 'cause I see no one else. No one else. I do make me so sad. I can't find it. You in my life. Ain't nobody else like you. Make me blind. Touch me, I can't help but to fall in love. You make me, I ain't used to craving. No excuse but saying, baby, you got me thinking. I wanna walk this side to the other side. This year, but I know myself.
become a better parent, is domestic family violence, need help, anger management, couples mediation, or individual guidance. If this sounds like you, then contact the Georgia Life Center by visiting their website at georgialifecenter.org or give them a call 470-395-1397 to set up an appointment, because everyone can lead a happy, productive life free of violence and abuse. Are you tired of living for the check? Want to increase potential income? Live the life you want? Establish financial and secure future for you and your loved one? So if you're an entrepreneur, want to own a business, or just need to make a little extra money aside, contact Josie Kebe to get you started on the road to financial freedom, income protection, and a better life. And let her show you how to lead a legacy. We'll be baking the show with Georgia first.
I've come too far, give up now. Met this far, wonder how. Father, I just want to be proud, and I don't ever want to let down. And my cross, I chase the crown. Life heavy, hit the ground. Better cry in my heart to hear sound. What just dripping from my bow. Drop the lane, get fast. Devil been talking, getting loud, but I ain't tryna blend in with the crowd. Cause what did they do for me? Man, I'm blind now, I see. Maybe they blame the enemy. It's time to confront the enemy. So I'm here and I'm praying, I'm bending knees, yeah. I make it without you, can't take it without you. Been f***ing without you. I can't make it without you, can't take it without you. Been f***ing without you, you. I made mistakes, I see it now. I got these tears, I'm breaking down. Smiling when everyone's around. Won't ask for help, cause I'm proud. But Lord, you see beyond my mask. And you know that I won't last. You say so down, I'm fast. Chasing the love, chasing the cash. I'm chasing the high and then I crash. Your love is the only thing that lasts. You know my future, see my ass. And you see when I'm running out of gas. I cannot hide from you. Even my man got me through. And not my with yours be done. Not the gun, but I can't make it without you. Can't take it without you. Been making without you. I can't make it without you. Can't take it without
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I know. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show. Let me put my headphones back in because I don't want y'all to say I'm echoing all over the place. And because I need to hear myself. Cello, can you hear me? Oh, let me turn the volume up. I can hear me. Welcome back to the WakeBake Coffee Morning Show. We got Mama Quita on the line. Mama Quita on the line. We here for our Women's Month. Ladies, I need to do a promo for this. And to I thank y'all all for being here. I know it's a little hard. It's Monday, so I know YouTube is chopping and screwing and all that other good stuff. But we here, we alive. Don't leave. Just come back in.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how this goes. Y'all know how we do. So, without further ado, I bring to you Miss Mama Quita. Hey, Mama Quita.
Good morning. I am so happy to be with y'all this morning. I hope everyone is good and having a wonderful day. This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. It is not the first day of August, but it is the first week of August. And we are ready to kick off our state of the this morning. Y'all hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay.
I got you right at the mic.
Perfect. All right. I can't see y'all. Y'all can't see me, but y'all know what I look like.
That's okay. Your picture's up.
Really? I hope you got a good picture. Don't tell me look at crazy.
Hey, listen. I got one of them pictures you sent me because because I was rushing Thursday to put up a picture, and I didn't go look at the pictures that I cleaned for the radio show. I didn't pull one of those. The first pictures that came across that I knew where they were was the first pictures that you sent when we was doing the promo.
Okay. I mean, I just have to go with that. I'm praying that I have something to take in. All right.
But you don't look wild though. It's a nice picture. You got a blue shirt on with your glasses and your hair down. You know, you're good. I wouldn't have you up here looking foolish, Mama Quita.
All right. Good. That's all I'm saying.
That would be rude.
Okay. Okay. So we were discussing the same era.
Is that somebody calling me? Who calling me? I don't know who that is. Y'all gonna have to wait.
We were doing something. Call back. So we're talking about this bank era thing and trust and women. We seem to trust so easily. Like you meet somebody, they seem like a good person, and all of a sudden you head over heels and trust somebody you don't even. How do you do that? At the end of the day, you done been through. So, no. It hurts not to it.
Speak up a little song, Mama Quita.
Okay, let me see. Alright, is that a little bit better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
That's better. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how we jump head first and not feet first into relationships, and you done been through everything you've been through. You just go off the word of somebody instead of going off their action. Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Well,
so we're going to talk about it.
Oh, no, I said, I'm in agreement.
Okay, so we're going to talk about what can we learn from the bank. You see, when you go to the bank to get a loan, sometimes just to open a checking account, they want to know who your mama is. You know, I bank with Navy Federal. So when I went in, it was like, oh, you in the military? No. Oh, so who is? Because you don't qualify. Off the real.
Right. I've been with Navy Federal for a long time.
Right. Okay. So you already know, like, just to even open the door to get in, they got to already have somebody that they trust.
To let you in.
To let you in. It's
right.
your connection. Your connection. That's the first thing I want y'all to think about when you're dealing with folks. What kind of connections do they have? That speaks a lot about a person. Who they conversate with on a regular basis. Who they spend their time with on a regular basis. Because whatever that person is, I can guarantee you, Yo-Yo Boo ain't too far off. They hide it. They ain't too far off. Too far off. So the bank, they want to see what your connections are. Then they want to get qualifications. All right, what your history looking like? If I'm going in for a bank loan, they want my social security number. They want to know where I live, how long I lived there. They want to know my credit. They want to pull my credit. They got to see a background, what your history looks like. I need to know whether or not I can truly trust you with what I'm about to give you. So the next thing I want you to think about, you about to give somebody what's really, really important. You. If you about to give somebody you, aren't you worth doing research before you decide to jump head in? Like, I don't understand how can you go head in, but you don't know this person. And don't get anything can nothing be started to the point where you can't allow yourself to be loved or any of that. But what I'm saying is be cautious in the beginning until you know that you can trust somebody. That's why some of y'all keep getting played boo fool. Because he ain't like the rest of them. He say you can trust him because he don't want nobody but you. If you tell me that on the first date, I'm going to tell you you're lying. Because if we on the first date, most likely you're already dealing with other people. And right now, what you're doing, you're in an elimination process. If you that far. Some of y'all ain't even in that far. Some of y'all just playing the field. Or you ain't even in the elimination process. You just trying to figure out which way to go. Hey, am I on the football field? Am I dodging? Am I on the offense? Am I on defense? Am I going upfield, downfield? Am I down yards? What am I doing? And you, baby girl, sitting back, letting him get all the field goals, sit back, believing everything you say, instead of paying attention to the actions and asking the questions that need to be asked. By the way, what does they even know what questions need to be asked? A lot of us don't know what questions to be asked because all we know is we want somebody to help us. And I'm gonna be transparent. I was to the point where I was like, "Well, God, I'm by myself. I done been by myself. Y'all, I've been single for 9 years, and." For those of you who know my story, you know I did 5 years trying to get myself straight. Moving. So it's been 4 years after getting myself straight and 2 years that I've been dating. And I got to a point where it's like, okay, look, y'all don't laugh at me.
Maybe.
I'm tired of taking care of these children by myself. It's hard out here being a single mama. I got to pay all these bills. I got to make sure the kids have everything they need. and I got to keep a smile on my face. Get up, go to work, come home, do all the extracurriculars. I ain't really want no man for no companionship. Like, I needed help. Like, give me some help. Give me some money. Help take these kids where they need to go.
Well,
and when you get to that point, you can find yourself accepting anything if you're not careful.
right.
Because you can become desperate.
Right. It comes off as, well, the key word is the carefulness that I see. And having certain discernment. Because it's cool to have companionship. My thing is, where are we going with this companionship? What are we building? What are we growing? As a single mother, I can understand if you're going to be with somebody, them coming in, helping with the kids, and doing what they're supposed to do from the man's side of perspective. At times, though, because a lot of women have done it themselves, by themselves, for themselves, all of this time, sometimes it's hard for y'all to receive help.
You preaching to the choir. I ain't got there yet, but you preaching to the choir.
Sometimes it's hard to receive help. Sometimes it's hard to do it another way because your way makes sense to you. Another way don't make sense. It could be something simple as a yes or no, but at the same time, we don't, because most men gonna want to come in and take the driver's seat based on what you just said. But because you've been in the driver's seat so long, you don't want to give up no keys. You damn sure ain't giving up the seat.
Absolutely.
However the case, let me throw this out here as a monkey wrench too, though, Mama Quita. Sometimes you, as a man, you're looking for a team player. And I've been in this position myself recently, where as the man, I look at it as a basketball game, right? So, as the man, you're the point. You control the tempo of the game. You bring the ball down. You make the decisions if you're going to take the shot, drive it in, and you're going to pass it out. You're going to make the decision to call a play or to just let the ball move how it moves. Sometimes when men find a real diehard team player, what happens is he'll pass the ball. And now he doesn't want to run point no more because he feel he has a woman who is analytical. He feels he has a woman who don't always, she can be emotional, but she don't always really truly move in her emotions.
Because she's learned how to separate the emotions
right
and the feelings from the reality.
Right. So then she becomes like the bank manager. She got 3 million questions for one thing. And oh my God, if you have an answer, that answer is going to be followed up by another 300-400 questions. Right. So now what happens is when you find yourself a team player that can truly run the team, you don't want to play point no more. Now you want to be the coach. See, the coach is not in the game. See, when you're coaching is being able to, because I was a coach. Being a coach is taking the talent that you have and utilizing the strengths of that talent. And wherever one has a weak, another has a strong. See, what happens is a lot of men now want to step off the court because they have a logical point guard running woman. It's not that he doesn't want to run point. It's now he feel he can be the coach. Being a coach means that you're gonna look at everything all together, and then you're gonna sit down and look at the point guard, and you would say, well, we should do A, B, and C. And then the point guard says, okay. So now the point guard is going down the court. The only problem that men fail to realize is we have to learn to be a player and a coach. But you have to be, because even though you call the play, even though you design and you put things, you said this should be here, that should be there, that should be this, that should be that. But what I learned about women who run point, they look at the man and be like, okay, you coaching, nigga, but can you come out here and really play the game? Can you really step out here and take this shot? Oh, you telling me I can do this and I can do that. But shit, nigga, can you do it? So a lot of women who get to that, they're looking for someone to build. Or nowadays they will consider you to be thirsty.
Yep.
Because I remember the narrative was women wanted to be married.
Yep.
You wanted to be a wife. For whatever reason, the narrative was it was a need to be a wife. It was a need to have that partner.
And now, today, it's even more of a need because as you just discussed with the difference in what we bring home, like I don't even understand how a woman should say I don't need them because in order to even be able to live comfortably, you need a partner. You need somebody, even if you, like, I have best friends who live together and they're sisters.
Well,
But because they're together, they need each other for the to be able to live comfortably.
Well, I can understand why women say that. And I know
I can too.
and I know why. I know why you and Miss Harris always say that is the most asinine statement ever. Because you and Miss Harris, y'all say that based on a spiritual and biblical principle.
Yes.
But y'all are talking to women, or you would say this openly around women who aren't sound in spiritual and biblical principle.
But I can also say that from experience on the opposite side of being a single mother and having to do everything by myself. And don't get me wrong, a lot of things I guarded myself from a lot of the hurt and the betrayal because I was always careful and still am careful about who I deal with. And see, that's where it comes in, where I teach women, you have to put you first. You have to work on you so that you understand your worth. Because if you never understand that, then that puts you in a place where you keep falling for the okie doke because you don't even understand what you're worth, and you be able to settle for foolishness.
Right, but you have to also take this in consideration. That has been a narrative now for a good 10 years. Women know your worth. Right? I want to know, should I take a break? Then come back. Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah, we might need right.
And I'm gonna pick up right here. So we gonna take us a little break right here on the Wake Bake Coffee Morning Show. I don't know. I, I guess, and I'm going to get some coffee. Y'all go get some coffee, and we'll be
Excuse
back.
me.
Huh? I don't know. I'm playing the same song. Maybe it's meant for me to play. But let me do it this way. Let me play without it's coming down here too. So we're gonna take us a break. We'll be back, and I'm gonna pick up right here. Do you remember what I said? The narrative. But before we get into that, here's Mama Queen, the baby daddy, without the baby. Here's Sean I will love you harder.
Something I need to know and take my breath in and let it go. And you just let it invade your space. I'll take this pleasure and get with the pain.
Good morning, Miss
And if in
Harris.
the
You're
moment
right on time. Right on time. We'll be right back.
baby, in
Miss
the
Harris, don't go
you
nowhere.
know this is something bigger than must be on bliss. Give me a reason to believe it. And if I want to give you, got to love harder. I gotta love you harder. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love harder. I know your motives, you know mine. The ones who love me to leave behind. If you know about me and choose to stay, then take this pleasure and take with the pain. And if in the moment you bite your lip, when I get you on, you know it's real. Feel the pressure between your lips. Oh, you feel like the first time. And if I want to keep, I got to love you harder. I gotta love you harder. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love you harder. Love you, what do I do if I can't figure it out? I gotta try again. Oh, so what do I do if I can't figure it out? Didn't believe me again. I got to love you, baby. I gotta love you, baby. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love you harder. And if I want to keep you, got to love you harder. I gotta love you harder. If I really need you, got to love you harder. Love you harder.
Yes. 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 Mr. Sean Isaac would love you harder. Good morning, Miss Harris. Miss Harris is funny how every time Mama Quita mentions your name, you pop up. I don't know what's that about. I don't know if we keep getting told something, because the narrative never changes. And it's ironic that when the narrative don't change, you pop up. What else is crazy is I just referenced you and Mama Quita on the show of a statement that y'all made before we went to the break, and it was more so that I don't need a man. Or when they used the theory or the catchphrase, I don't need a man. So, before we went to break, I said I can understand why that phrase is what it is. And I said because the narrative also has been know your worth. So, usually, when knowing your worth does not equate knowing your worth to be found by a man, but know your worth to stay away from men. Not saying that that's what you're saying. You're just saying know your worth so you'll know the type of man that you're bringing in. But that's not how it's being received. How it's being received is I need to know my worth, my self-worth. I'm good, I'm straight, I'm this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, and I can do that. So now when that is done, psychologically, it paints the narrative that, shit, if I'm doing all this, what I need him for? Oh, now you telling me now when I get with him, now I got to be submissive, and now I got to put myself backseat as a woman. Now I got to be barefoot and pray. You see what I'm saying? That is how it is received, because women have been doing it so long by themselves. Women have been doing it so long without. So that becomes the perception that women pick up from that type of narrative, as opposed of know thy self-worth as a wife, know thy self-worth as a mother, know thy self-worth as a woman, know thy self-worth as a daughter, an aunt. Because now it incorporates in her mind everything and everyone that is around her, as opposed of just incorporating her by herself. Does that make sense?
It does. But let me ask a question. So it's coming off and it's being received as I'm gonna call it the independent woman syndrome.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my microphone. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so if it's being received as the continuum of what I call the independent woman syndrome.
How to make a slave.
I relay it. Okay, pick up for a second and give me a second.
All right.
Okay.
Well, what I know about the independent woman syndrome is it was a slavery term. It was a term to make women feel independent without their man, but yet depend on the slave master. Yeah, you're independent because you don't have a man in the house. You're raising the children by yourself. You are cooking and cleaning, and you're taking care of this, and you're taking the kids to school, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, and you're shopping, and you're making moves, and you're doing this, and you're doing everything by yourself. So that becomes the pointed, painted picture that you are independent. However, yet your dependency comes from another source besides the one whom children you birth. So the thought process of the independent woman came from How to Make a Slave from Willie Lynch. And pretty much what he said was to make the woman feel independent, yet dependent on the slave master, which means that you're not independent because you still have a dependency. You're still dependent on somebody else. And the trick to that was to make you think you was independent because you wasn't dependent on a husband. It was to make you oust the man. It was to make you ostracize the man. It was to make you push him away. That is what I know about the independent woman syndrome. And how does that tie into the bank era? As we stated before, the bank, before they do anything, they got to know about you. You got to walk with them for a while. The bank has what I call trust issues. Yeah, they'll take your money, they'll let you do deposits, but now when you start coming in talking about extra services and things like that, they got questions. Before they lock themselves down with you, they want to know about you. And a lot of women lock themselves down and they know nothing about the person whom they are locking themselves down with. They don't ask the important questions of your family and your relationship with your parents and siblings and how you move and do you take care of your children and how's that relationship and what are your goals later on in life. So
Okay.
well, welcome back, Mama Queen.
Okay. I'm back.
So I gave my version and understanding of what I knew to be the independent woman, which came from the Willie Lynch syndrome, which is How to Make a Slave, and pretty much to make the woman mentally feel she's dependent because she is alone with no husband, but yet her dependency becomes still off of the slave master because she still can't survive without him, yet that is the theory of the independent woman, to where you will push the man off, but yet you still are now that makes you independent because there's no man in the house, but yet you still have a dependency yet somewhere on another or a system.
That's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. And the sad part is because of the way that the messages are going so subliminally, we fall into listening and going with what society says. I mean, that the music, the entertainment, the narrative going on amongst one another, and it's so easy to get distracted as we have. And your mindset begins to believe what it is that you hear all the time. It's just like the song that you hated becoming your favorite song because you hear it so much.
Right. So let me ask this question then, Mama Quita. With all of the BS you and Gov been talking about today, why should a woman want to get married? Why should a woman really feel like she really need a man? Why should she give up her full throttleness of being able to do what she want when she want? She ain't got to answer to nobody, none of that. Why?
So, good question. And after I came out of my marriage, I love being single, and I love being able to do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it, and not answer to nobody and all that good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's wonderful for a certain amount of time. Because then as you get older and you mature and you understand what is really important, I wasn't out there with the different men and juggling and all of that, but at what point then you say, okay, I'm tired of juggling. I need somebody that's just for me. See, because what we need to realize is I don't care how much you try to be in denial, we all just want love. And of course, even being in spirit realm, we know we have the love of God, but you do want physical love. You want the physical touch. You want the physical being to be taken care of.
So let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that why the woman was created to begin with?
Absolutely.
I'm just throwing out questions because I think women hate, or I think the narrative of women is second class, as opposed of your creation was for a purpose. And it goes deeper than just being barefoot and pregnant.
It does.
It's a deeper thing when you are a wife, because now you're first nurturing, your first understanding, your first everything that they say about a woman, the nurture, the teaching, the guidance, and all of that. Before you give that to a child, you give that to your husband. And I think God made y'all teachable and compassionable because men are instructional. We go by instructions.
Simple. Very simple.
We're simple, and if it ain't really truly laid out, if you skip the part and telling us the instruction, we're not programmed or wired to expand and think outside. Now, after being with someone for a while, you kind of already see certain things. Like, wait a minute, how would she do this? Because all the instructions wasn't given.
But wait, before we even get to that part, let me finish answering the question at hand.
Okay.
So, not only were we created for companionship, the fact is that when you get older and you start thinking about it, like, what was that? Thursday, what I did when we did the show on Thursday, and I was talking about your contentment. You start thinking about settling down. You start thinking about what's going to happen when I get old. Who's going to be there with me? Am I going to have someone to take care of me?
Right.
going to be where when I do make my final breath, am I going to be in my family? Because at some point, all of that starts to really wear on you. It is what it is. Being the single life is not all glamour and gold.
Well, Hollywood say a little different.
They would. Absolutely.
Well, now the narrative is, you can be married and single, or you can have multiples and all this other good stuff. I think one of y'all is enough.
But then it goes back to the need to be honest. Because then you realize that with love, it goes down to the need of, are we together because you choose me? Everybody wants to be chosen. And you can put on all day, every day, oh well, I'm good with being the single or the side piece. At some point, you're gonna want the feeling of I am the choice. Because you were created fearfully and wonderfully made with a need to be the only one. When you understand that the void that you have can only be fulfilled by God, that's the type of love that you're looking for from a person, hey, guess what? It is what it is. There are not very, very many people who are created as Paul and can live their life single. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, but like he said, he struggled with it.
Exactly.
It brought a lot of temptation.
Exactly. And he struggled with it, but God gave him the grace to deal with it. But, again, I'm sorry, I just got an email that I got distracted with. But it's just human nature. It's the way that we were wired. And people like to pretend because they want to put on the hard face. Nobody likes to be transparent. Nobody likes to be vulnerable. And if you really sit down and really by yourself, really get to thinking about it, and you admit those things that are actually going through your head, we all want the same thing at the end of the day, because we're all created with the same thing.
So that's...
Some of us are confused about where we get it from, but at the end of the day, we want what we want.
Because you think about it, we were created to be with somebody. And I tell this to women all the time. You know when a man is starting to come into the realization of his manhood, because at that point he don't want to be sleeping around. Like, he don't want that. He rather deal with one woman for the rest of his life. He don't care if she get mad. He know it's gonna be some arguments. He know it's gonna be some disagreements. He know it's gonna be some turmoil. He know it's gonna be pain. He know all of that. The babies might come, or we already got children. We are joining family. But he rather ride that out, thick and thin, with just one. Even LL Cool J came out in his book. He said, when I was an artist and I was touring, I was going around and sleeping with all these women, it came to a point where I wasn't being satisfied.
Yep.
Because is deeper than just laying down with a woman.
So much more.
Right. See, a man can lay down with no feelings, no attachment, because we are built and wired this is a procreation act. But as a man, you only, when you become a man and you get to a certain age, you really only want to do that with just one person. And the reason being is because of everything else outside of the sexual act. She pushes, she motivates, she grows, she encourages, she's behind. She's a thinker. She's not always in her emotions. She asks a lot of questions. She she pretty much help you elevate who you are. And sometimes as men, especially men who are at the bottom coming up, they gonna fight it. And they will fight you, ladies, because they ready, but they ain't never seen it. And it's the opposite too. Because when women ask for good men, especially if they never had it, never seen it, they'll fight it. The bank does the same thing. The bank know everybody ain't good, so they fight it. That's why I said the person with the biggest trust issues in the world is the bank.
Yep.
We know you need a bank account for your job. We'll give you that. We ain't getting your shit up, because I don't trust you. I don't know you. And sometimes men, we have to prove ourselves. And we should.
But here's the thing, because a lot of women are not requiring.
A lot of women are who?
Are not requiring proof. My microphone keeps flipping. They're not requiring the proof. They're just taking their word. Whatever he says is it is what it is. And you don't make the actions and the words match up. So
right.
You're the one stuck on stupid.
And I've been there where the words and the actions don't meet, because sometimes I had to learn that it's not about control. See, the bank wants to be in control. Oh, we give you this money. We're going to put your name on this title and this deed. But it's still ours. That's control. This is still ours. Whether for 15,